Hey guys, APOC here, and we are back with several humongous pieces of news today. First, I want you to see that we have another 12-win Grand Challenge deck, and we will hop right into that in a moment. But second, if you look at this side of the screen on the right side, you will notice something new. I am now a member of Reddit Alpha. And as you know, Reddit Alpha is one of the premier clans in Clash Royale, and I am very honored to be part of the team. And a shout out to Woody, thank you so much for inviting me. Third, we are going to save this big, and when I mean big, it is massive accomplishment for the end of the video. So stick around for that surprise. Let's hop into the chest opening, and then let's get into these matches. So what are we going to get in this 12 win? As always, we get our beautiful 22,000 gold, a very impressive 1 archer, an equally impressive 3 minions, some cannons that'll all be converted to gold, dark goblins as we finally start getting something useful, rockets because Reddit Alpha is full of rocket requests, that is no joke, spear goblins, mortars, royal giant, finally some musketeers, giant skeleton for our first set of epics, 68 barbarian huts, 613 Teslas. Definitely not what I was going for. So last one should be some epics. 9 mirrors. Okay, Supercell, where are all these legendaries? There's a lot of videos in a row with no legendaries. That's unfortunate. Okay. So anyways, let's hop into these matches. So we faced some incredibly skilled players in these matches. We faced Cece, who is currently ranked 758 in the world. Let's go with that one first. So let's start with, this is a very aggressive Hog Rider and Giant deck. This is my first time picking up this deck, and I'm very impressed with the power. Running 2 different win conditions can allow you to get past some defenses and avoid others, such as not playing a Hog Rider into a bowler or not getting a Giant to go into an Inferno Tower. Playing both Minions and Minion Horde and Baby Dragon also can really put a strain on your opponent's air defenses, and playing both Minion and Minion Horde also generally puts a strain on their spells. You know, only having Fireball or only having arrows can be difficult when you're playing both. So sometimes you can bait out the Minion Horde, the minions with the spell, and then you play Minion Horde to follow it up, and they might have a lot of difficulty with that. I did find that this deck was particularly strong against against Golem and 3 Musketeer decks, as most Golem decks are running Lightning plus Log, so that's not particularly strong versus Minions and Minion Horde. And then second, versus 3 Musketeer decks, they're usually only running 1 or 2 spells at most, and usually that's the Log. Meaning that they don't really have any direct interaction with your minions besides their 3 Musketeers. And if you have your Minion Horde behind your Giant, it can make quick work of their 3 Musketeers. As you see here at the bottom, our minions are making quick work of that graveyard. So that's another benefit of having both minions, Minion Horde, and Baby Dragon. So do keep that in mind. So finally, one of the other main cards in this deck is the Lumberjack. As you see, the Lumberjack makes very quick work of that Electro Wizard. And now we have a Hog Rider on the tower, a Giant still up, and the Lumberjack up, and all of a sudden, this is being beaten down in no time flat. And that tower is basically 100 to 0 all at once. Okay, so he runs his Baby Dragon. He didn't have anything tanking for it yet, so our minions do die to his poison, but all in all, we're not taking all that much damage. He sucks everything all together, but our Hog is already on the tower, and now we have a raged Baby Dragon still beating it down. All in all, we're in great shape in this. Now finally with the minions coming in, even though it doesn't look like we're going to wind up taking this down, I would put that tower's in spell range, so even if he wound up taking it, we would still win 2-1. So that's a nice way to start this. So let's hop into match 2. Versus Marcus from in Trimax YouTube clan. So this is where you will see us facing a pretty standard golem deck now. I would say this is probably the most popular golem deck you're going to see at the moment. Very nice that minion horde cleans up so nicely, and we get a whole 1,000 damage on his tower, which is nice. And then we can use our baby dragon to clean up his, as well as these little spear goblins left over. So another thing that's good about this is that we have a lot of counters to pump. So not only can we punish them with lightning, as you saw right there, but even if we don't have lightning when they pump up, we can drop a very aggressive push to get on them to make sure that we're taking advantage of when they pump up. With both Giant and Hog Rider, it makes it very easy to be able to counteract their pump and make sure that we're getting plenty of damage on them. Okay, so he sends his Mega Minion to its death. Meanwhile, I have my Giant about to cross the river, and he's got his Golem barreling down at us. So what we're going to do is we're going to split push the other side. And we're going to do a ton of damage over there. And our Giant is still even going to get off a punch, and that basically took his tower all the way down into lightning range. Now we are going to take a bunch of damage over here, but our minions are cleaning up that golem, and even though we're going to lose the tower here, basically he did a 13 elixir push that we countered with our minion horde, and now we just turn that around, and now we have our Giant already back on his tower. The Giant's going to wind up taking this tower. The other tower is already in lightning range, so we're in great shape over that. So Hog's coming in. He just golemed in the back. Meanwhile, everything is already barreling down on his king tower, so he's in serious trouble over here. Minions on the tower, Giant on the tower, Hog on the tower. Now we got the lumberjack coming in, and all of a sudden we will just lightning to finish it off. So that's one of the beauty about this deck. It's really punishing to those decks that want to build up those elixir lead with both Giant and Hog Rider. It can really let you attack through. Now finally we're going to get into this last match. First, Crim 6. Crim 6 is basically a top 200 player. I have faced him before. He's an extremely good player. So let's get right into that. So this is our deck versus 3 Musketeers. So we have a nice opening hand with our Hog Rider. It's also nice that his Ice Spirit goes the opposite direction, which is good. So we'll get a nice 3 hits off while his Knight comes to us, which we can stop with our minions. And then it's not a big deal if they get 1 pump, because a lightning doesn't kill it all in 1 shot. So you do have some time to think about your lightning if you're going to lightning the pump, and see if you can ever actually catch something else with it. But we do still lightning down that pump. Okay, so we find out that he is playing 3 Musketeers. He's got a slight elixir advantage on us at this point. So we'll set up our defense. So he's going with the full split push here. We'll use our minion horde to get rid of that that ram, and then we'll use our lumberjack to clean up his 2. And then we'll take some damage from that musketeer. But we'll start moving in for our own attack. And while that does stop our minions slightly, our now raged minions are on that tower, and that gets it all the way down into lightning range, which is exactly where we want to be. So Log cleans up that goblin gang, And so we got a nice damage lead on the opposite towers, slightly. And we're getting ready for our next push. So once again, we have the elixir lead. And he's going to go with all 3 musketeers together. So we'll take 2 of those out before he's able to place his ram as a lightning rod. Then we can use our minion horde to take down his minion horde. All in all, we don't really make much progress, either of us here. So minions on his musketeer, and he is able to get a hit with his battle ram. And we are coming in hot with our lumberjack plus our hog. Get that damage in. So tower's all the way down to 1,000. So if we do have to win this 2-1, we'll be ready. So once again, this time we are not going to let that battle ram connect. We're able to make that stop with our lumberjack. And now we got a little bit of a counterattack over here. Getting our giant in. But we are just getting down to the last second, so we want to make sure we get that lightning in just in case anything unfortunate was going to happen. Now we don't need to wind up actually having to defend. Just log back, push that ram back, and that keeps us honest. So I do think that this deck is a very strong deck, and I hope that you enjoyed the deck today. This is something I am going to probably test out a little bit more, as I did have a lot of fun with it. So I did promise you that there was another bonus, and as you see, I have a max log that is ready to be upgraded. So I've been saving for this for quite some time. The log was in my shop a couple days ago, and I was able to purchase some more. None of my other legendaries are pretty close. I think Princess is next, and that's at 1220. As you see, my bandit is a nice level 2 still, and I'm also not making too much progress on the Electro Wizard. But as you see, none of my epics can be max. Only my Hog Rider and Fireball are max. So if you do plan it right, you can max a legendary if you're consistently buying it from the shop. So do keep that in mind when you are upgrading your own cards. But let's do this. Let's get this upgraded. My first max legendary, only my 3rd card to be max that aren't commons. So my cards that aren't commons that are max are Hog, Fireball, and now the Log. So Log now deals 140 damage to the Crown Tower, so that is beautiful. And so I am super excited about that. Once again, guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you, Reddit Alpha, for taking me in. And I will see you guys next time.